Ребят, я вас приветствую на сегодняшнем нашем марше. Вот вроде бы говорят, что в Москве не осталось русских. Это так? Нет! Что-то я вас плохо слышу. Это так? Нет! Кто мы? Русские! Кто мы? Русские! Кто мы? Русские! Один за всех! Один за всех! Один за всех! Всех за одного! В любом случае, по молодому найти. Молодые стали нам. Ребят, правая колонна, актив не подходит, строится. Война, на самом деле, захваты по делу больше и нет. А потом дальше Советский Союз нам прикрывал. На самом деле Советский Союз начал практически они поджигали дома, да? Бомбили Советский Союз. Стали таким поджигателем. Они ничего то, что нам надо было границ, расширить, во-первых, хозяйки, хотя она была союзником, весь мир понимал, что это было. И она вышла как писатель. Никто ее не накачивали Советский Союз ученых отвозил 30-х, 39-х годов. Очень большие поставки зерна, железа. То есть настолько плохо торговали. Союзники же были. Не расправляйте, все националисты, Потом, на самом деле, при Сталине он был шутом. Что такие люди, как Хрущев, Горбачев, они боялись заявлять о том, что ну да, а перед этим Сталин очень расстрелян. А когда вот стали Ладно, ребят, давайте еще раз вспомним о нашем языке.
Потом расскажу.
Один за всех! Один за всех! Слава Не кучкуемся по краям.
Конечно, хорошо для осознания вообще мировоззрения, да, почитать. Но если только одну книжку берешь, называть автора, то это надо читать всем разные мнения. Тут я оставил, на самом деле, его не представили. Кстати, как миллионы людей, которые стреляли, оказывается, у нас в России там и как я постригали, да, то есть не ради сильно было, наоборот, брали просто шкирма, выбивали признание, вот и все. А на самом деле было не то, что сильно отвратительно, на самом деле настоящий агент, это как раз человек вообще. Если говорить о сильной разведке, то это вот все
скорее всего.
Советский Союз, это представьте, и лавина шпионов, гранаты расистические людей,
Ну теперь, ребята, давайте вспомним наших соратников, товарищей, которые томятся в застенках в то время, когда мы идем сейчас здесь. Свободу! Политзаключенным!
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 Отменить 282!
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 А теперь, ребят, я буду называть фамилии, вы хором будете кричать свободу, хорошо? Владимир Ратников! Продолжаем движение. Продолжаем движение, только чуть.
Отменить 282! Отменить 282! Отменить 282! Русские вперед! Русские вперед! Русские вперед!
Ребят, ну давайте еще раз вспомним узников совести. Вы будете отвечать мне, вы не забыты.
Русские вперед! Русские вперед!
Русские вперед!
Русские вперед!
Русские вперед!
Русские вперед!
Так, ребята, давайте еще раз вспомним наших узников совести. Вы будете отвечать мне, вы не забыты. Узники совести! Узники совести! Узники совести! Узники совести! Свободу узникам совести! Свободу узникам совести! Свободу узникам совести! Один за всех! Один за всех! Один за всех!
Skutek działań Kremla, który przestraszył się rosnącej popularności skrajnych nacjonalistów, przejął część kasy i zastraszył Działo się bardzo dużo.
Ладно, давайте вспомним еще один старый лозунг, который объединяет всю российскую оппозицию. Россия будет свободной!
Россия будет свободной!
Россия будет свободной!
Россия будет свободной!
Заходим, идем! Россия будет свободной!
Россия будет свободной!
Россия будет свободной!
Россия будет свободной!
Власть народу России свободу!
Власть народу России свободу!
Власть народу России свободу!
Власть народу России свободу!
Ну и давайте вспомним сейчас виновника того, из-за которого мы, собственно, здесь все собрались, и против чьей антинародной политики мы все сегодня выступаем. Россия без Путина!
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 Ну и давайте вспомним еще одну старую древнюю кричалочку. Я сейчас буду перечислять, и вы будете мне хором отвечать чертям собачьим. Путина!
Чертям собачьим!
Медведева!
Чертям собачьим!
Правительство!
Чертям собачьим!
Государственную Думу!
Чертям собачьим!
Помедленнее идем! Помедленнее!
Сопротивление! Власть белым! 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 Власть белым!
Хотите подальше? Давай-ка чуть помедленнее. Идем.
Слава России! Слава России! Слава России! Слава России!
Россия! Просто власть!
Слава России!
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 Кто мы?
Русские!
Кто мы?
Русские!
Кто мы?
Русские!
Русские вперед!
Русские вперед!
Русские вперед!
Русские вперед!
Русские вперед!
Русские вперед!
Русские вперед! Чуть помедленнее, ребят! Остановим диктатуру! 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 Давай! Давай! Давай, чекистский строй! Давай! Давай! Давай, чекистский строй! Давай! Давай, чекистский строй! Отстрелить 282! Отстрелить 282! Отстрелить 282! Свободный, социальный, национальный! Свободный, социальный, национальный!
Буйные головы сечь, но и народ сам кольчугой звенит. Русская речь, и от перелеска до слез высится белая радость на родной стороне.
Что Минск, что Москва, лишь борьба дает права! 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 Что Минск, что Москва, лишь борьба дает права!
Нация и свобода!
Нация и свобода!
И свобода!
Нация и свобода!
Нация и свобода!
Нация и свобода!
Люстрация! Место вентиляции! Люстрация! Место вентиляции!
И все за одного! И все за одного! И все за одного! Русские! Русские! Русские!
Миша, идем.
Русские вперед! Русские вперед! Русские вперед!
Это начало колонны.
Чуть помедленнее идем. Идем. Помедленнее.
There was more than just 3, right? Yeah, I'm just gonna. I'm gonna do another orbit here. We are now to the southwest of the facility, coming around to the south side of the facility, back to the north. It looked as though they brought them out of that main building in the top right down to that building in the bottom left to maybe do some out processing and clearing of the facility, and then they let them out the gate, and they are now tasting freedom for the first time in who knows how long. Is that what you do? Is your microphone up? No. I got Allison in the back. She said she'd go to all of her favorite restaurants as soon as she got out. Well, I mean, where did you go when you got out? That's where you would choose. You'd choose McDonald's as your first place when you got out. Something other than jail food. Can you zoom in on that?
Your daughter on the other end of the fence.
Oh my gosh, she's taller than me. Just
If you could say something to Governor Stitt, what would you say?
I would say thank you very much for making a change in our lives. I say thank you for giving me my mom back.
What's the one thing you want to do?
One thing I want to do? Let's go to Chelino's. Let's go to Chelino's meet. Most definitely. Yes, it's her favorite restaurant. Take my baby out to eat. Treat her. So, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I will. Thank you very much.
Thank you. More, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We just talked to her daughter earlier. Hello. We just talked to her.
Yep. He'll get up right now. Live at 9:33.
Does it say live?
More orange. They're probably going to take all the orange out of their wardrobe. They probably don't want to watch Orange is the New Black. But we were told that as many as 15 are going to be released from this facility, this Cape Bernard facility here in Oklahoma City, and as many as 450 from around the state of Oklahoma which will be the largest commutation in Oklahoma history. And it's due to the legislation that was recently passed, changing the laws on drug charges and minor felonies that are now misdemeanors. So those sentences that were given out due to those individuals committing those crimes has now been changed, allowing for them to be released as part of the stipulations in that new legislation. First time getting in a car in a while, probably, instead of a prison bus. Right? Or van. Sky 5, the only helicopter bringing you these live shots of the largest commutation in Oklahoma history. This is at the Cape Bernard correction. What is? I gotta get the right name of that place. The Barnard, Cape Barnard. Go get somebody. They're checking somebody out. Because it's hot in here. So the Cape Bernard Correctional Center is a female minimum security prison. So this is a minimum security female detention center or correctional center, which this morning is the site of one of the sites of the largest commutation in Oklahoma history. It means that prisoners are being released due to a change in the laws, a change in legislation. This one has to deal with minor drug charges and felonies that have now been downgraded to misdemeanors. Those that have been sentenced and put in this specific facility are now being released after a long stint here at this correctional facility, and they would have stayed longer if it wouldn't have been for this legislation. This allows them to be released back into the civilian world. So our hope is that once they get back, they have an appreciation for their freedom. They have an appreciation for the lessons learned while being detained, and they won't, be repeat offenders. That would be the whole point of the correctional process, is to kind of change the mindset to more of a responsible and trustworthy member of society as they're being released. Now these, of course, you can get caught up. I realize there's all kinds of situations where somebody can just be in the wrong place at the wrong time and make a bad decision and get yourself in trouble to the point where you have to spend some time in a facility like this. But our hope is definitely there for them, that from this point forward, better choices are made so that they don't have to wind up here again or anywhere else. So those of you that are just now joining us on Facebook Live, Sky 5, the only news helicopter over the Cape Barnard Female Minimum Security Detention Center Correctional Facility, where as many as 15 inmates, now former inmates, are going to be released today due to legislation that was recently passed in the last election concerning minor drug charges and felonies that have now been downgraded to misdemeanors, not allowing for the amount of time that these individuals were sentenced to. And because of that, they are being allowed to be released today in the largest commutation in Oklahoma history. This commutation will allow for the release of over 450 inmates from around the state of Oklahoma in facilities much like this one. And this is good news for friends and family of these individuals, as they are finally getting a taste of freedom after many days in a facility like this, serving out their sentences that have now been changed because of this legislation. It's definitely got to be that's a different life, being surrounded by chain link and concertina wire and knowing that you don't have any freedom really. You kind of gave that up because of choices that you made, and at times I'm sure there's a little despair, thinking that there's no hope. But the truth is there's definitely hope. There's hope in any situation, no matter what you're going through. There's always some hope. There's always something that can be done differently, choices that can be made that allow for hope to exist. And in a situation like this, for many of these, it was a change in legislation that allowed for them to be released back into freedom, back into the arms of their friends and family, and right into the camera lens of Alex Housen. Who's with her? Is that somebody else down there being interviewed? Is that somebody that was released or somebody that is waiting for someone? Yeah. So like we were saying, Sky 5 is the only helicopter live above what's happening here at the Kate Barnard Minimum Security Female Corrections Center here in Oklahoma City. This is south of the zoo, Lincoln Park Golf Course. It's just directly next to and to the south of the Oklahoma Department of Public Safety. And this is has been long awaited by many of the family members, loved ones of some of the inmates here. You still call them inmates? I guess you'd call them inmates, right? Prisoners, inmates. Yeah. And you can see these buildings here at the top right of your screen, surrounded by that high chain link fences and concertina wire. And once they cross through that boundary there, from the building into the parking lot, going through that gate, it'll be their first taste of freedom in a long time. And it's all due to the legislation that we passed as Oklahomans here in the last election, allowing for a change in the laws concerning minor drug charges and minor felonies, which have now been downgraded to misdemeanors and have also changed the amount of times to serve in many of those cases. And in many of the laws and many of the charges, there's no time served. So some of those that fall into that category are being released from this facility and facilities all over Oklahoma to the number of about 450 or greater. Oh boy. All right. Allison has let go of the controls, so I'm the cameraman right now. And she's back. Is it warm back there? I got the heater off. The heater's on. The heater's off. You're not. I'm directly in the sun. I don't have any tint on my windows. You've got two windows that are. No, because I got my Jackie on. Oh, it does. Oh. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. So they're gonna go in there, out process probably, and then come back out. That the person in that black vest has been escorting each group to and from that building. So they're probably going in there. I don't know what that building is. Oh, thank goodness. Whew. You Irish down a little bit. That was nice and bright. Yeah, you're doing real good. You're doing real good. You know what you're doing. I got Allison in the back with me. She's longtime friend, longtime camera worker. How long have we known each other, Allison? It's been going on almost a year. Wow. All right. Are they coming back out, or is that something? No. No. Now there are some people heading towards that gate. Maybe. Maybe not. All the cameras waiting on those individuals to leave. We've got our own Alex Housen down there with somebody. It kind of looks like you, Allison. Yeah. So you can see she's waving at all those that are gathered there by the building. It's hard to see them, they're all in the shadows, and they're up against that building, making their way towards that gate. Did somebody just go through the gate? It looks like somebody came out and met with, there you go. That was the person that they were talking to. And you can see them leaving, they're waving. That's good news. And then that other person went into that building, and they'll probably be coming out here in just a little bit. Somebody went running towards them. Somebody with a camera, it looks like. It's not Dave Valaga, he doesn't run that fast. All right, so I know Facebook Live is fluid, and there's many of you that are just now joining us, wondering what in the world we're videotaping here. This is Sky 5 over the scene at the Cape Barnard Minimum Security Female Correction Center here in Oklahoma City, just off of Martin Luther King and south of 36th Street, right here by the Oklahoma Department of Public Safety, where they are releasing as many as 15 prisoners from this facility due to recent legislation that was passed allowing for the change in some of the Oklahoma laws, changing drug charges and felonies to misdemeanors, which also changes the sentencing time for these charges, which allows these individuals, these inmates, to be released early because of those law changes. Good news for many of the inmates here, and for over 450 inmates from around the Oklahoma area, allowing for this to be the largest commutation in Oklahoma history. Now, the last commutation, I don't even have any information on that, but it's probably been a while. There have been some minor ones, but this is going to be the largest commutation in Oklahoma history, and possibly in our nation's history. So you can see that individual there. We just saw them come out of the building, and now they're leaving the facility with their box of belongings. That is their first taste of freedom in quite a while, and man, are they happy. You go back to that one girl with the box, that girl right there. They're going to talk to her and kind of get her feedback as to what she's feeling now that she has been released from this center. You can stay on that, and I'll keep an eye on the rest of it.
I'll walk toward you. Okay, ready? Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. A historic day here in Oklahoma. More than 450 inmates released from prisons all around the state. Now, we spoke to a mother and a daughter. The mother just being released from prison after 3 years. Take a listen to this. Okay? 3. Soundbite. 3, 2, 1. Now, all of the inmates that are being released were in prison for non-violent crimes. Now, we asked that mother, what is she going to do on her first day of freedom? And she said she's going to take her daughter out to lunch. In Oklahoma City, I'm Alex Houston. Let's do another stand-up for the beginning of the video. Tell me when you're ready. 3, 2, 1. A historic and very emotional day here at the Cape Barnard Correctional Barnard. Cornered. 3, 2, 1.